The term military analyst is not a legally protected term. It's not like doctor. It's more like economist. You know, any asshole can start calling themselves one and fart out a vaguely plausible opinion on the current situation.
I had an epiphany. A lot of times in my life when things look like, oh man, this is bad, this is horrible, it actually ended up being a blessing in disguise. But especially now, let's take the big four, the big four accounting firms, Ernst & Young, KPMG, whatever, Deloitte and Douche, and the other one escapes me now. But PricewaterhouseCoopers Lybrand, right? It's a very fascinating and interesting labor market where the accounting industry in general, but especially pronounced among the big four, the accounting firms in the United States, we can't find enough CPAs, but then they don't do anything to make it easy for people to get the CPA certification. The accounting industry requires a master's degree to sit for the CPA. That means you got to go to school for 6 years. They hypocritically say we want to help out poor people and minorities and women's and other disadvantaged groups. It's like, well, then why don't you just make it so that people can self-study and take the CPA and not waste 6 years and Lord knows how much money on tuition, but that's a different thing. So they're whining and complaining, we can't find anyone. Yet then, when they do have people apply to them, they underpay, they overwork, and now they're just wholesale outsourcing to India, the Philippines, and other countries that speak English. And then you throw in a regular economic slowdown. I don't think we're in a recession yet. The ever increasing difficulty it has become to find a job in corporate America, especially white collar, where the amount of education has always increased. Bachelor's required, master's preferred. The tuition always goes up. And the nightmare, the Orwellian nightmare that HR, as well as corporates have made it, where now they're posting fake job ads just to build up an inventory of resumes that in case an actual job comes up. And this is on top of all the other horse shit we had to deal with in the past, where you had internships that weren't paid, they're bullshit, they're lying. This has been going on for corporate America before the DEI and the ESG and the fake job. It was already a shit show to begin with. And it got me thinking, okay, I started interning when I was 18. It was never worth it, right? My job, my career in white collar, corporate America was not worth it. That's why I'm here now. A couple videos back, we had one guy, young man, not even 40. He made it to a junior executive level in a big four bank, making $400,000 a year. And even he, which that's a phenomenally successful white collar job, even he couldn't conclusively say it was worth it. And I don't know anyone, when you look at just what a mental nightmare shit show, how unmeritocratic, how biased, how bureaucratic, how corrupt corporate employment, white collar work has become in the United States, really ask yourself, was it worth it? Oh, you're not toiling in the fields. Well, yeah, at least though, if I toil in the fields, you're not going to have me train my replacement. At least I didn't have Karen bring it down my neck. At least I don't have to go and sit in school and get a college degree to do this entry-level job that, frankly, you don't pay enough. I mean, that's a whole other thing. We want you to come downtown. We want you to commute. But we're not going to pay you anywhere near what you need to live downtown without ruining your life with the commute. And no, you won't have enough money left over to pay off your student loans that we require and save up money for retirement. And heaven forbid if you want to have yourself a vacation. And when I looked at that, it's kind of like, oh no, I use India as an example because they have a large population, an increasing educated population. They speak English. So that's kind of the go-to place. There's the Philippines too. But people are like, oh no, they're outsourcing the white collar jobs. Where all the I had like, so what? Oh no, they outsourced all the crap, dangerous jobs in the factories to China. All right, I kind of don't like our industrial base being outsourced, and those were jobs. But yeah, a lot of them were dangerous. Who liked working those jobs anyway? And this isn't an argument that we should all have fluffy, luffy jobs. But weren't white collar jobs supposed to be that? Now you've flooded the market with college educated idiots taken over by already inept, corrupt corporate American executive types. Fine, it may have sucked working a hard, toiling, physical job, assembling cars, right? Real job, welding, whatever it was. Dude, the continuation of middle school where the assholes are in charge and there's no meritocracy. And I had to go to school for 4, preferably 6 years to have the honor to work at whatever fucking dickless corporation is out there. Target, Cargill, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo. Hey, can you create, like, we commit fraud here, right? Wells Fargo. Did you stop that? You're going to do it a third time now. I just stop. I'm like, like, oh no, my wife is cheating on me with another man. Meanwhile, your wife is this fat, loud, nagging, STD infested bitch. Dump her, right? Oh no, the Indians are taking our white collar jobs. Oh wait, no more TPS reports for us? They get to sit in the fucking meetings? They get to listen to their Karen HR bitches, whatever we got some Indians in the audience. What's your version of Karen? What do you call her? I don't know, but you got the equivalent, right? Or the Philippines with their tampo. Like I know that's a romantic courtship dating term, but whatever the Filipino version is of HR Karens, what is that? Right? Seriously, the white collar jobs can go fuck themselves. The last time they were worth shit was when you had a pension, right? Hey, you worked hard. You got your 35 years. We're kind of concerned about the community. Not a Democrat, by the way. Definitely not a Democrat. We're going to pay you enough that you can live nearby, stable family, and, maybe even God, heaven forbid. Oh, your wife got pregnant? Oh, well, we raised the people at the office raised a little bit of money so you can afford some child things. Right? That may have happened in the past. Now, well, here's your paternity leave, and we're not too sure. Well, okay, come back. And can I work remote from home? Whoa! If I can't see you, how do I know you're working? We have a culture, corporate culture. You gotta to show you how to show you how bad white collar work is. This is almost 10 years ago. Do you remember how the big tech firms so desperately wanted you women to throw away your youth and ability to have a child? They would pay for you to have egg freezing, right? They paid that service. And then you would freeze your eggs, and you actually were so blind and arrogant to throw egg freezing parties. Do you remember that? Dude, this is a cancer. White collar work, the white collar profession, white collar industry is a fucking cancer. And if you want to outsource the TPS and the pointless meetings and bureaucracy and the War of the Roses, stab you in the back, Game of Thrones, bachelor's required, PhD referred, corrupt, dude, sabotaged work. Go read my book, Behind the Housing Crash. You'll see what I had to go through. I got a better idea. Fuck you, Goldman Sachs. Eat a bag of dicks. Really? What are we losing? Now, I am rarely optimistic, right? Rarely optimistic. And I'm not saying all white-collar jobs suck. Most of them do. Or all could be outsourced. There will always be some need for white-collar workers here in America, right? But after thinking about it, I'm kind of like, wait a minute. That might, then I got to add another thing. Hang on. The ideas keep coming. What would happen if we actually did to the level we outsourced manufacturing to China? What would happen if we got rid of all the white collar work that could be outsourced? China, Philippines, wherever. India or not, just an example. I said, well, what would happen? Well, first, India, Philippines, whatever, second developing world nations, they would welcome it because the wages are higher and it's not them. If you want to see something harsh, go look at the Bangladeshi shipyards breaking apart all the the obsolete cargo ocean going vessels, right? I'm sure the Indian people, the Philippine people would love to have an American white collar job. It's like, be careful what you wish for. Here you go. And we good luck. Bye. And okay, now we got to deal with Philippine or Indian customer service. Like now, our jobs are it's already happening now. The future is now. They're already outsourcing jobs. Fine. We don't have to do the tax. I don't have to sit at a meeting at Ernst & Young and listen to the DEI hire talking about diversity initiatives. I was like, bitch, it's fucking tax season. Gotta get, you're not a game player. We don't have to. Hey, here you go. Here you go, India. It's all yours. There you go. Right? So they say, we'll gladly take it, right? Because it's better than making $2 an hour. All right, fair enough. So they're better off. They're happy about the deal. Maybe not long term. I'll just warn those of you foreigners. See, I don't think it's anything inherent about American corporations. I think it's just corporate bureaucracy and bullshit. It's inherent to all human beings. But if you want to take our logo, right, whatever the logo, we'll use the big four. You want to take the Ernst & Young logo and effectively make it an Indian staffed company. Cool. Have fun with that. Enjoy dealing with the corpo dickheads. Have fun. Right. So, but for now, that's an upgrade. Then you say, well, what would we do in the United States, right? You think, oh, we lost it. Well, think about it. First, the main one, you wouldn't have to go to college no more. I mean, you have to get some kind of training, right? You have to go find something to do. But if there ain't no white collar work, right? Or 10% of what you 90% of the white collar work is gone. We just wholly outsourced it, right? You principals over at the Big Four just come in your pants over a million times over. Oh my God, we saved $4 an hour. Well, what do you want to do? And what kind of gave me the structure or gave me the the world of what you would do? I'm going to plug my friend Ryan Steva, the Homestead consultant. Look him up on YouTube. You go into homestead. It's almost like you come full circle. We go back to homesteading, farming, or whatever. Now, I'm not saying we all run these big farms, but what he does, I think he runs he works a regular job. I forget what it was, but it's part-time. And I think he's up to like 70% self-sufficiency. I know another couple in Del Mar, they're like 70% self-sufficient on food. But Ryan, he has like a chicken coop, a mobile chicken coop. And the reason it's mobile and it drags on the ground is that way they got their chickens because they have eggs and the meat. But then the chickens, the potassium in the chicken shit helps fertilize the ground. But then he moves this thing like, I don't know, 6 feet every other day so that the chickens poop on the new ground and then he farms it. This kid's a genius, by the way. You really ought to check out his video. If you're interested in homesteading, take a look at it. But he's got his own water source, solar power, And what would happen is because you no longer have to go and sacrifice your whole fucking life to corporate America. Like no college, none of that shit. You know what we could do? Start focusing on things I've been saying. Building your own home. The trades, right? We almost, I don't want to be too optimistic, but we're almost on the dawn of the potentially great opportunity for young people where you'd build your own homes, you'd till your own land, maybe not so much the farming, right? Solar panel installers, well drillers, right? Instead of wasting 5 years old to 24, going to school to beg and plead for a job that doesn't pay a living wage and is taxed at 38%. You go to learn to fix cars. You go learn a little bit about gardening and growing your own food. You go become carpenters and tradesmen. You actually just build your own life with your own hands. Fine, we got to import the solar panels from China. Fine, the management thereof is outsourced to India. They get to deal with the TPS reports and the KPIs and what type of solar panels are we going to use? And then Karen, whatever the Indian equivalent of Karen, would come in there to bitch and whine and say, you're not hiring enough of these. You're not hiring enough, whatever, Sri Lankans, left-handed Sri Lankans. You know, it's universal. What was the movie? Hitman with Timothy Oliphant, and the woman's just blabbing and blabbing and blabbing. It's Russian, and he just looks at the old guys and he shakes his head, and the old man laughs because they all know, right? You're gonna have. I can't wait for you guys to take our white collar jobs. You legit be making six figures and say, "Do you remember when we didn't have these white collar jobs?" Yeah, those are the good days. But they're dealing with all the white collar bullshit, right? Only 10% of which is needed. All the white collar bullshit is outsourced. You're not applying for jobs anymore here in the Indians are taking care of the managerial aspects. China is manufacturing. We don't have to have meetings about how the solar panels are made or whether we hired enough left-handed gay Sri Lankans this week. And we just go home and spend time with our families or ourselves. We go for hikes. We go fishing. We create a fishing net so that we can get fish out of the stream that we happen to buy a piece of land by. We're not in college. Instead of spending 4 years giving our money to Marxist, leftist, socialist professors who hate you, you spent your time digging the hole, pouring the concrete, kind of like the Amish, except with tools and equipment. Fine, made in Japan, managed by the Philippines. Who gives a shit? Did we get the tools? We got the tools. We got the talent. It's Miller time. We could have Miller time in America again. Oh my God, you formed communities. Hey, Bob, you know how to pour concrete. You want to come over and pour concrete, but I know how to frame. I'll frame your house. And you start building little communities, little cottages again. There's no commute. Where are we going to commute to? There's no white collar jobs. Oh no, downtown is collapsing because the corpo is the commercial real estate investors, bro. Like, not only would that not be a profession anymore in the United States, I mean, it would be, but you guys would be gone because ain't nobody using those buildings, right? None of you going to get around to retrofitting them to be residential. I can't wait for you people. It's not possible. Okay, anti-American. Okay, Mr. The Hoover Dam couldn't be built in the desert. Okay, just let me. You're not commuting anymore down there. They're falling apart. The people in Portland, they're pissing on them. You know, it's Portlandia all over. Yay. You wouldn't go to school. You might go for some reason or another. You build your own home. You become a mechanic, fix the cars. But they won't be American-made cars. Oh, no. You mean like now where they're assembled in Mexico and then we paint it and then we say, paint it in America. And you're a mechanic, you fix the cars, right? And all of our time would be focused not at the fucking schools, not at the fucking office, not even at the fucking factory. It'd be focused on our homes and our lives. Now, I haven't fully thought through the ramifications and consequences of trade deficits and likely inflation that would occur. Okay. So I admit that I haven't even factored that in there, which is probably going to be negative. But in terms of our time, like, let's just look at our time budget compared to what we piss away now, keeping you worthless fucking teachers and professors employed to teach us nothing, absolutely nothing. And then we go and slave away for 10 years. Get your foot in the door, put your dues, being slaves to you cocksucking boomers and Gen X now, to deal with mental illness, an absolutely unacceptable mental environment in corporate America, with backstabbing and bullshit and Karen and false accusations. And, oh my God, Bobby asked me out. Oh, well, let's shut down the whole fucking company because somebody asked you out. You're right. Let's go kill them. You wasted all that time in college because, and then there was a false accusation. Or maybe it wasn't false, but oh my God, you proudly asked Becky out. Yes, I did, Senator, and I'll do it again. Kill him. Your career's all gone, or you're 22, 23, you've built your house because you didn't go to college and you learn how to build things, be a mechanic at trade school, or that's what they taught you in K through 12. Even if you didn't have that benefit, right, of a trades education or self-employment or I guess agriculture, because some people would grow their own food. I don't think that'd be a big thing because we still have farms here, so we'd be all right with that. You could be an MBA right now, sucking the phallus of DEI at Ernst & Young right now. Say, I've had enough of this shit. And with YouTube, you could teach you probably got enough money. Buy a little piece of land. Go get yourself a little trailer, right? You're an accountant. You work for Ernst & Young. There's nobody else in your life. You don't have anyone to love. You're not having sex. You're by yourself, right? Of course you are. You're an accountant. Get yourself a trailer. And then what do? I'm going to start working on small engines so that if somebody's lawnmower goes down, I can fix it up. And also another reason I have the course, The World's Greatest Accounting Career, link below. You're an accountant. That's a job that could be done remote. And whereas I'm sure there are some capable men and women in India, the Philippines, wherever, who can do people's taxes, you know what? Americans might want someone who speaks English natively. Oh my God, Americans might hire Americans. How racist. And then you do people's taxes from your trailer remote. And then you work on the side and work on engine repair. You're like, wow, this is so much better than sitting in DEI meetings with Ernst & Young where CPE, said the bitchy dumbass Karen. There's no Karens. There's no meetings. You just do your taxes for other people. Small engine repair. And then maybe you go out there and you start growing, I don't know, hot peppers. I'm not saying this ends up becoming some kind of like, what do they call it? Not a flea market. What's the thing women like and you overpay for all the produce and you go out to some field? The farmer's market. I'm not saying you become the farmers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if we had all of our white collar work outsourced to the maximum extent possible and all the manufacturing outsourced to the maximum extent possible, it would allow everyone to basically focus in on their homes and their home life. Doing goods and services locally that can't be outsourced, can't be done remote. Some professions you'll still be able to do that are white. I think accounting, because people want to speak with the people of their own language. They don't want their tax information sent overseas. But the Big Four's got other plans, right, guys? Because you hired someone from McKinsey and said, hey, $4 an hour is better than 15. I got an MBA from Wharton. What's the salute for MBAs from Wharton? Like, is that your salute? How do you identify fellow Wharton MBAs? Anyway, so how hard is that to switch from the white collar work to just going out and, for lack of a better word, homesteading? You don't have to go to college. You don't have to go to school anymore. You might have to go to trade school. Yeah, you might have to do hard labor or real labor. But gone are the days. Think of how many generations we've sent to fucking school, college, right? I already hate K through 12. That's way too much education for the education shit we get. You could teach those kids that in about 4th grade, right? We could, if we wanted to as a country, force the teachers. Well, you'd also have to keep fathers around. Well, that ain't going to happen, right? Like to provide discipline to the children so they pay the fuck attention to study. We could have kids making money by the 8th grade, certainly with an enviable and pliable skill or trade by the time they graduate as seniors in high school. You could get rid of college. How many years? What, 1.6 trillion is the student loan debt crisis, right? How many trillions of youthful hours were wasted for 3 generations of young people go to college for degrees that didn't get them anywhere? What if instead we spent that time, I don't know, building houses, right? Think all of the kids going into the college university campuses today, all of them, by the tens of millions, right? What if instead of that, they were going out into a field and building Housing, namely their own. Do you think we'd have the housing problem we got right now? It it would open up it would usher in a whole new era that would be so much better for the United States. There would probably be inflation. I think the welfare state would be shot because basically the welfare state is now that we're a full service economy, not a industrial blue collar economy. I don't know where you get the tax money because everyone would be building their own shit, growing their own shit. So I'm sorry, adult Democrats, you'd actually have to get jobs and stop parasiting off of everyone else. Again, I haven't fully thought, but that's a you problem, right? But you'd have this whole world where all you had to do was focus on your own home, building your own shit with the tools and management that brought those tools outsourced to other countries. What are you doing? Oh, well, I'm just trying to think. Well, I'm gonna put in a new I'm just thinking if it's a trailer and you already own the property or it ain't much of that, I'm gonna mow the yard and then I'm gonna add a little bit more insulation that was produced by the Chinese and managed by the Indians and cost me 30 cents a roll. I'm gonna put in some more insulation and a little wood burning stove in my trailer. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. What are you gonna do after that? Nothing. You want to come play cards? Me and the buddies they're putting in Bob's basement. And after done pouring Bob's basement, you want to come over and we'll play poker with cards made in Mexico but managed by the Philippines. Oh, cool, yeah. And they'd be like, hey, you heard Jim's going to get his doctorate in business management at the Carlson School of Management? Oh, that poor sucker. He thinks he's smart. And then if you don't have student loan debt and you have your own house and everything bought and paid for or labored for, you probably only need one income to live on, and that means you women could be stay-at-home housewives and raise the children and make some food. Maybe you women could put on some heels when the kids are out playing. Give your man a blowjob in the other room. Hey, man, can you see the vision, man? Like your husband's out there working in the field all day, drilling a well, man. And then you go and you tell the kids to get the fuck out, right, man? And then when the husband comes in for lunch and you prepared it because you were no, wait, you're in your heel. Forgot what I said originally, man. You're in your heels like every woman should be, man. And then you made him a sandwich and some cookies and said, here's some hot, nice water for you. You're working hard. I love you so much. And then the husband say, where's the kids? Where's my loving kids that are homeschooled and are already learning to program computer code in the 5th grade because we ain't got no teachers left anymore because we outsourced them to India and Pakistan, man. Where'd the kids go? And she say, they went over to the neighbors. You want to go in the other room and fuck, and then I'll get you reunited to go back out and labor some more? Yeah, man, that'd be great, man. Wow, no, not there. Oh, my God, no. Oh. No, be a girl boss. Being fucking dead for your fucking MBA and HRDI dick suck stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you go get your commute with your $8,000 a month fucking flat in New York City where you think it's 1995 all over again, and it's Sex in the City. Hey, anything but that. Oh my God. You get to, who are the, modernly, I wonder, do all you girl bosses, you come home and say, who are these people? They're your kids. Don't you remember giving birth to them? Why are they hugging me? They want their mother. Well, tell them to fuck off. I'm a busy girl boss. Why are they outsourced to the daycare? The government, New York City financed daycare the communists promised us. Husband's out working. Kids come back in. Mom, how'd you have fun at the neighbor? Yeah, our neighbor Bill showed us how to frame a garage. Whatever. No meetings, no commutes. No bitching and whining at the office. No fucking corporal vampires. Would you like to freeze your eggs? We have an egg freezing program. You need your CPE and masters to advance. Oh, someday. I know you've been working for us hard for 17 years, but soon your day will come. Oh, by the way, we're outsourcing. You need to train your replacement, and the company's going bankrupt because the corporal bro. We were bought out by private equity. We're all getting fired. Yeah, sorry, 18 years is where you're like Al Pacino in that movie, Johnny, the one with the Fugazi, that movie. Yeah, it was just a waste. Hey, at least here's your frozen egg. Oh, wait. We forgot to tell you the statistical chances of that actually working are like 12%. You could. You could homeschool the kids. You could, ladies, if you're interested, you could be a stay-at-home wife. Ladies, you don't even have to have a husband. I mean, perfectly honest, if you did your own things and fixed your own stuff, you go buy your little piece of land, get your little house, maintain it. Right? I understand. I joke a little bit. Well, okay, I joke a lot about, maybe having a loving family is a little bit more fun than being a corporal gal. But I understand most of you are not that interested in guys, and you're lukewarm about having kids. Not everyone wants. Okay, fine. But wouldn't you still be better off buying your own little piece of land, having your little house? I imagine. Do you remember Foghorn Leghorn, where there was the older chicken gal? And she'd always go, why, yes. And she always had a crush on Foghorn Leghorn. But she always had that small little tidy hen house that was always well maintained. You girls could have that. That's not beyond any of your ability. I mean, and shit, forget ability. If you took the money you pissed away on your master's in HR and bought, I don't know, a house with it, you'd have that now. Why, yes. And you don't have to let a single guy in there. You'd be perfectly fine. And so, yeah, I think there'd be inflation. More I think about, the welfare state would collapse. The welfare class would revolt. Did you guys see the fat gal testifying in front of the Minnesota Congress or Minnesota legislature? And she's got to be 350. She's just this huge fucking woman. 4 kids, 8 different fathers, standard thing. And she's bitching about the cuts in food support or the food programs. Amy Klobuchar, that's the one who tweeted it out on her or whatever Twitter account. That's how dumb they are. Those are the people who are going to be pissed. They're going to have to because there ain't going to be no tax. So there'd be problem. Now I'm thinking about it. We outsource all the white collar jobs to India, Philippines, Pakistan, Central Europe, wherever, right? The tax base goes over there. We just start working on our houses, or we pick up the trades and all that. It would be taxed heavily, which would then further drive you just to focus on your homestead and yourself. They would have to print off money to keep the welfare class going on. So there'd be a lot of inflation, but it really wouldn't. It really wouldn't. Because the more and more you're off grid and you're not buying, I mean, oh my God, what if you had love? Then maybe you don't need a Ferrari or a handbag to fill that gaping fucking hole in your soul, ladies. Well, hey, ladies. Okay. I'm an economist. Okay. I didn't want to tell you this. Okay. I'm going to give you the inside baseball here now. You keep this real quiet now. It's not the $5,000 handbag that's going to make you happy. It's not the $10,000 handbag that's going to make you happy either. God, you better not tell people this. And it ain't the $50,000 handbag that will make you happy. Okay? Now look, don't you fucking tell anyone this. Happiness for women comes with the $100,000 handbag. Okay, that will finally make you happy. Now, don't you tell no one. See that what the handbag industry needs you to do. They need to get all those initial purchases, the $5,000 handbag, and then girls say, well, remember the part of that, and the girls say, yeah, well, the $10,000 handbag that'll make more, and then go, And they say the 10th, you see, right? But it's like getting escape velocity from Earth, right? You need to achieve a minimum amount, and that minimum amount is a $100,000 handbag. Now, if you want to escape quicker and faster and have more happiness than the other women, you get the $200,000 handbag. But that secret number, permanent happiness, $100,000 handbag. Now, don't you tell anyone. But if you want to be better than the other girls, like you want to be the best girl, it's the $500,000 handbag. And that will tell those bitches in Wayzata who's boss, okay? Then you'll be queen bee. Not only be happy, but you'll be the best. You'll be the best woman. Mm-hmm. All right, now don't tell anyone. Don't want you giving away the secret to happiness now. We got to make money on that. Oh, and freeze your eggs. Now a lot of us is a little bit too late. We've already gone down the path, white collar work and all that. I think it's never too late to switch and start making your own homestead, building your own thing. Like obviously I worked a ton on my own house, had to become somewhat of a carpenter, somewhat of a mechanic. I find it way more, I'll tell you right now, doing actual work is way more rewarding than working any white collar job I had. I guarantee you there's not, I love to hear it in the chat room if you actually enjoyed your white collar profession. And I'm not besmirching you or saying you're a liar. I'm not. I'm just saying you're going to be in the distinct minority. Fine. Ernst & Young, Pete Marwick, Grant Thornton, whoever. Fine. You all want to outsource your job? Microsoft, you want to outsource your jobs overseas? Go ahead. Send all the white collar shit overseas. It wasn't acceptable or tenable to begin with. Not today. And if you're going to do that, and then what? Oh, AI. Ooh, AI. Zoink, Scoob. Who's the creature? It's AI. Oh, my God. AI just going to take. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. Right. Dude, you're a fucking fool to go to school for something like business or marketing or HR. I mean, you were a fool before. You're definitely a fool now. I would just go to trades, take your time going to college, go to school online, take a class or two. But and I think it's because a lot of these things are already happening. White collar work is not acceptable as it is right now, and it's not acceptable with the price you got to pay to go to college, both time and money, and it's not worth the money they pay. And they're outsourcing it. AI, woo. Go home. Learn a skill or a trade. Start making money. In high school, there's no reason for you to wait till 18 to get a skill or a trade. There's no reason for that. Make money, live at home, buy a small little piece of land, build your own little house on it, get a trade that you could trade other people locally. Dude, you'll never have to go into a meeting again. Oh, no. We lost white collar work. We can't play Mad Men anymore. Oh, no, I don't have to commute. Oh, no, I don't have to learn SWOT analysis or Boston Consulting Group model or all the other worthless horse shit. You corpo bros, private equity took over. I don't care. I don't go there anyway. I change my own oil. I eat my own food. What is P.F. Chang's food going to be like in 2040? Is it just going to be shredded cardboard by that time? Is that what you guys are going to have? So link below, I have 3 resources. All right, you want something to do? You want something? Okay, well, what do we do then? Get my book, Zero World Problems. Start off there. Even in the back of the book, it's got a list. You could tear out the pages and you could put it up on your fridge or whatever and just start going through the life's to-do list. Knock those all out. Most of them have nothing to do with college or career. And I don't know. Oh, no, Punjab has I used to be a senior analyst. Now Punjab is doing it for a third of my salary. Okay, I guess I'll just go and wrench on this car. Or I'll finish the basement. Or I'll go, whatever, drive Uber, whatever. Right? Alex Patino, a truck. There's a perfect example of a job that's never going to go away. And it pays well, but you don't have to deal with Karen and HR. Go be a truck driver. Work on the railroads. You go work on the railroad. You come back. You got this money. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to I need a new, I gotta replace the water heater. You could pay someone, you could do it yourself. Oh, I don't need the money. Oh, what am I gonna do with the extra money? I'm gonna get, I'm gonna, I'm gonna build a greenhouse so I could grow more food. All of a sudden, life gets a lot easier when you're not a slave to the fucking corpo higher ed bank mafia. And the government come in and like, hey, we got a 38% income tax. I'm like, well, okay, on my $10,000 I make because I live off the land. Otherwise, here's your $3,800. Oh, but the welfare people in the city will be very upset. That's your problem. I live in a red state where we could shoot people that want to take our shit. Is your stuff more important than other people's lives? Yes, because it took my life to build my stuff. It's my life versus theirs. Yes, I value my own life. Hey, I don't know. How about in the public schools there in the city, you teach them not to steal? How about you do that? So zero world problems. That's one. The world's greatest accounting career. There's not a lot of white collar work that is going to be inoculated against outsourcing. But I think accounting is going to be one of them because no shade on the Philippines. Okay. But do you want a Filipino or an American doing your American taxes? I'm sure the Filipinos don't want an American doing the Philippine tax. I don't know how the tax code works, but I'm sure it's the same thing over there. And you can be doing it remotely. And it's one of the quickest ways to become self-employed. So if you're interested in a job that will get you, I mean, it's still going to take 3 to 4 years minimum. If you want a career where you work for yourself, you open up your own shop and you're in that trailer enjoying a nice pipe looking over your land, consider the world of accounting for a career. And of course, that leads to that is the world's greatest accounting career. Link below. Not the most average. Oh, no, my fine sir. This is the greatest accounting career. Can women sign up for it too? Absolutely, milady. It's not just for men. It's for everybody. What if I'm a left-handed Sri Lankan? Can I get, yeah, you too, sir. So I'm a girl boss and no, madam. No, madam. What's your degree in? HR? No, I'm sorry, ma'am. You are not smart enough to become an accountant. You can go work in HR. I'm sorry. There's an intelligence threshold you need to become an accountant, and HR ladies are not it. Oh, the hard deck does not count. The world's greatest accounting career, link below. And if you kindly would, I have my Amazon affiliate linked. As always, you can find that at assholeconsulting.com/Amazon. You click on that link. You don't log. You don't log. Don't use your app. We're the phone. Don't you dare use your phone. Don't you dare use your app. You will be a boomer like me, and you will buy all your Amazon purchases through the computer, which is the real price you're paying. So you sit down at a computer, you go to that website, assholeconsulting.com/Amazon. You click on the Amazon banner or the link. You can log in at that point or not. You can do your shopping and then log in. You can log in and do your shopping. It remembers. And then all the purchases you make during that session, I get a 5% commission and cut. And it costs you absolutely nothing. So it's a free way to help out Capmeister. Let's go to the super chats. Oh, let's go. Wait a minute. So Rashid, are you? Wait a minute. Oh, you're at the end. Okay, let me get back up here. Okay, nonstop trade, $2. But Cappy, Americans want more money and work-life balance. It's at the end of, well, okay, what's the money for? It's to buy shit, right? And after you're done with what you were told you need, like shoes and Cavaricci pants and a sports car and the McMansion, at the end of the day, you know what the most important thing is? Freedom. Fuck this shit. I don't want this shit. I want to sleep in like I did today at 8:30 having coffee in bed. Right? That's what you should want. I mean, you go, except for women. Remember, ladies, the only way you'll be happy is if you buy at minimum $100,000 handbag. Then you'll be happy. But for the rest of us, for us men, it's freedom. Ladies, you don't need, freedom will make you miserable. And if you were wearing heels and an outfit in the kitchen making cookies for your husband while you sent the kids away and gave him a BJ, when he needed a little lunch break, that will make you miserable. Whatever you do, don't do that. Fuck work. Fuck the corporations. Fuck corporate employment. Fuck higher education. Fuck the meetings. Fuck the commute. Fuck the backstabbing asshole. Look, corporate America could have been all right. It was meritocratic. You only hired the people that you needed, and you made wise, conscious decisions. Have you seen all the political decisions they're making that make it absolutely impossible to work for any of these companies? And they're losing money. Could you imagine working for Target when they are at their peak woke? Right? We're friends of not straight people here at this show. But if your job depended on the performance of the company, like, hey, are we overkilling it a bit having gender bending swimsuits for kids? Don't you'd be fired. How would it be working in that environment? Fuck. It's middle school. Do you want to go back to middle school? I don't care what they pay you. Fuck middle school. Work-life balance? I don't know. Work as little as possible. If you do work, have nearly all your labor go to yourself. Do your own shit. Dre, $2. Is late-stage capitalism a legit thing or made up? It's a way to describe corrupt capitalism or crony capitalism, right? But the corruption has always been with every institution and ism out there. It doesn't, there's corruption in monarchy. And if used in the context like it's an academic who thinks Marx was right about anything, then it's not legit. It's not. Because they then think, well, then we're going to move on to this stage. And now we have magic, unlimited production, food with our socialist utopia. So I don't know if it's late stage capitalism. There's always been corrupt. I mean, look at the Gilded Era of America. I think it was 1850s. It was previous to the Civil War. I mean, look at Asian countries. Look at the Corruption Perceptions Index. You think, oh, the Japanese are so polite and civil. Yeah, but the corporate corruption is very high. Same thing with Korea. Same thing with China. Although China, I guess, ostensibly is CCP. But it's, I don't know, late stage capitalism. I don't know, have better laws. Let the banks fail. Jail the bank. Do in Iceland. Find the bankers and jail them. Make them work slave labor for 20 years to build houses. Make them make it honest. But so I mean, yeah, it's a fanciful little academic idea. Sean Whelan, $2. Robert Infrared says due to the Triffin dilemma. Triffin dilemma? What the hell is the Triffin dilemma? Triffin it popped up. Identified by economist Robert Triffin, describes the inherent conflict faced by countries whose currencies serve as global reserve. This conflict arises because a country must run current account deficits to supply the world with its currency. Already, I don't like this theory. It could be right, but it's one of these avant-garde theories of like, actually, if you think about it, which is needed for international trade investment. No, you don't need to run current account deficits. You say, no, we're not running it. You want our dollars? Pay more for it. However, these deficits can erode long-term confidence, value in the reserve currency, potentially leading to its collapse. Yes, but you do not have to run current account deficits. You don't. You want more? Okay, give us more yen. I don't know. Pay us in trade. Give us your land. Give us your women. Oh, God, gee, I am kidding about that. We don't want to pay for your women. We got our own. Where'd it go? He's not wrong. And yes, it would undermine our currency. It is undermine. It's happening. I don't like that, but we have to run a no, you don't. East Montana, second most American name in America. $5. No more white collar work, backyard tiny houses for Xers to kick out their kid adult millennial Zoomer family members. The next big thing life. Now you're not too wrong. Look, let me explain to you. Okay. Unless your mom got fat or bitchy, every old man of yours wants to start banging your mom again on the kitchen island and wants you out of the house. Right? If Cappy were to have kids, which I would not, I mean, no joke. I'd be running the kids to, hey, 18, tickety-tock, you're out of here. So I could start going to banging your mom on the kitchen. And I would be like, look, 18 now, after summer, and you got whatever, you're off to college or the military or whatever, right? I'd say on this date, when you're supposed to leave, just got to start fucking your mom on the kitchen table. I don't care if you're here or not. And those kids will be getting the hell out. I'm walking around the house naked. If I decide to start banging your mom in that corner over there, you better not be here. Kids get getting out of that house so fast. Could you imagine having me as a dad? Hey, fuck nuts, what's going on? Not a single compliment. Come back, you got almost straight A's and an A minus. What the fuck is this A minus over here? How are you, my son? Of course, I never got straight A pluses, but I would, hold them to a slightly higher standard. Oh, you thinking about getting a tattoo, sweetheart? Are you getting, you really? I'd have a big old red wiffle ball bat and I just hit my kids in the head with it. When you're out of the house, 28 days until I start banging your mother on the kitchen table. 28, big old, I'd go through them big red wiffle ball bats like nobody's business. I'd have to have a stockpile of them. Auticus X, $5. People need roles. Yes, we do. We need to go back to small communities where everyone has a role and a purpose. Large city, lots of not needed people equals welfare. Correct. Nonstop trade, $2. Do you trust Americans to make quality things today? No. That's why it's going to be you, right? I trust myself to whatever, do the drainage correctly. I trust myself to repair my car correctly. I trust myself to whatever, install Linux correctly. I really don't trust Americans. After dealing with Wyoming people, dealing with contractors here, working in banking, seeing all the fuck up Americans, and just going out now in public, where the guy, like, do you have Expedition 33? How do you spell expedition? Like, oh my fucking God. Superlube, which I guess is no longer in business, not putting the oil plug back in? No, no. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, let's imagine it this way. The Chinese will manufacture this stuff to varying quality. The Indians, Pakistanis, Filipinos, other are managing this enterprise. We run a trade deficit. We print off more dollars, and the goods are shipped to our shores. We go pick it up at the Menards or whatever, and it is up to us whether or not we will create, produce, build quality homes, cars, lives for ourselves. You almost are going to be off grid. Not because you don't trust the electrical system or anything like that, but you can't trust your fellow American because it's just too damn lazy. They're just too damn incompetent. Which is what it is now. And so, I mean, a lot of you, right? You don't go out to eat anymore. I barely go out to eat anymore. I mean, I have my places that I go. But I go to these handful of places because I know they do the job right. But I'm not going to try another place. And we're going to become more insular. And then, I'm not going to go to the bar. I got booze at home. I'm not going to go have somebody clean the gutters. We had someone clean the gutters. Someone in the audience had someone clean the gutters and they ripped off one of the gutters. Like, okay, I guess I got to clean my gutters. That's fine. That just means I don't have to work as much because I'm going to do all my own shit. And look, at least on paper, you'll see the largest drop in GDP per capita ever. It'll go down on paper by about 75%, but your actual enjoyment standards of living will go up. And I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. Ladies, if you started loving your men again, everyone's standard of living go up a lot, which we wouldn't be able to measure by money. But this would presume everyone loses weight, gets in shape, get rid of the tattoos, which, okay, I'll admit this, would make men a lot happier. I think for the most part, based on what I see, maybe you would be miserable. Are you more miserable in a corporate environment, being in debt, or more miserable helping on a man that you don't like too much? That's a question girls are going to have to face in this world. I don't know. I think everybody would be better off if we're just thinner. But the effective stand, even if a girl was, no, I'm going to be a bachelorette, I'm going to leave me alone. Her having her foghorn, leghorn gal, why, yes, her little hen house is going to be a higher standard of living than her living in some shittily made condo in downtown New York that's about to collapse or has lead poisoning. Speaking of getting in shape, Steve's fitness and health, the possibility of AI replacing bloated administration sectors of the economy. Oh, yeah. Education, healthcare, government might take some time, HR, etc. Very deflationary, might be overall good. Learn to code, learn a new real skill. Dude, if you could just gut out, well, now wait a minute. You bring up a good point here, Steve. Someone didn't factor in. I thought our standards of living would go down, but if we outsource everything either to AI or overseas and it's a fraction of the cost, the goods would, just like Chinese made goods went down in cost, not quality. Well, they went down in quality too, but that might lower the cost of things even more. So there's the blue collar cost, right? We minimize that outsourcing to China. Then there's the white collar cost of whatever product or service you're doing. Yeah, if you got rid of all the HR and Karens and ridiculous education requirements and all the labor, I mean, we're slowly starting to approach where the robots are making everything. You're right. That would be deflationary, but that assumes the US dollar maintains its world reserve status. If it doesn't, yes, it would be deflationary overseas or globally speaking, but our exchange rate would decay against the productive members of the world's economies, against the rupee and the yuan, using China and India as an example. Sean Weiland, $2, seize the endowments and send tanks to Harvard. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I would. I love it. I wouldn't send tanks. I'd take the endowments. I'd send in I'd say, what would I do? I wouldn't be violent about it. I would just shut off the electricity. See, yep, taken over. Of course, that would set precedent for a private entity be taken over by the government, so I really wouldn't do it. But I would love nothing more like shut off the electricity, round everyone up. All right, you're all out of here, and have new government employees who are all. You know what I would do? Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. I go to the Ludwig von Mises Institute down in Alabama. I'd say we need all your academics. We're gonna push out that we're gonna get rid of all the Harvard people. Here's a list of all the people that we're getting rid of. Not kill. I mean, like, bye. Here's your shit. Get out. And then I would have University of Alabama, Mises Institute say, I want you to replace everyone over here. And you will be the parent campus of Harvard. You will run Harvard. I put the Ludwig von Mises Institute in charge of Harvard. And then, And then I'm like, okay, now that you're back to being a real and serious college, we're going to lower tuition. And we're going to only allow people in on meritocratic bases. That'd be great, though. Let's see that. Rashid Abdullah, AED, Arab Emirates. Hang on, let's look at AED. AED, USD, Arab Emirates. Look at me. I can guess me my foreign currencies. Wait a minute. UAE would be a white collar. That would be what already is a banking and white collar powerhouse. Okay, so yeah, we'd have to factor in Dubai. Where do the stocks and crypto market? Where do I see the stocks and crypto market on the coming quarters? Some saying a big crash due to layoffs and plunging housing markets. Others say Trump's bill will give the market a breather. I honestly, to be perfectly, I have no idea. Just like politics, I haven't followed markets in ages. Like back in the day when I wrote the book on the housing crisis, I was probably one of the most informed analysts out there about the housing market because that was my job. I have not taken a look at crypto. I don't look at the stock market at all. Yeah, I'm the wrong guy to ask. I mean, I have the capacity to go and research it and get up to date and up to snuff on it, but I don't know. The only thing I could, and this is kind of a cheap observation. Land and crypto, if done right, there's only so much of it, right? 21 million Bitcoin. I know there's other cryptos out there. and there's only so much land. There will always be more fiat currency. They're always going to print off more dollars. They're always going to print off more pesos. They're always going to print off more dirhams. I think is the currency, rupees, whatever. So a lot of investing is just hedging against inflation. Generally, you'll do well. No guarantee. If you have a diversified portfolio of real assets, that would be stocks, real estate, maybe bonds, income generating, things like that, precious metals. Cryptocurrency can't predict it because there's so many, it's so volatile. However, stocks, and I did look into this, but it only applies to the United States. I looked at what investments were the best hedges against inflation, and it turned out to be the S&P 500 was the best one. And largely the reason why is that companies have a natural hedge against inflation because they are producing things. And the things, since corporations produce the things, that means you're paying inflated prices for the things. Oh my God, there's inflation. That means the things they are selling are more expensive. And so whether it's cars or food or rent or whatever else, the because it's all the value of a stock is the current day value of all future profits. Well, all future profits overspread a large enough index, all future profits are sold at future inflated rates or prices. So there is a natural hedge against inflation with your productive companies. So generally over the long term, this doesn't mean the stock market can't crash or crypto can't crash, but generally, yes, you would want to have a diversified portfolio. I even have videos on how to hedge against inflation. But you want a diversified portfolio of some real estate, some index funds and corporations, equities, education and skills, I think are the best ones because like dentists don't worry about inflation. They just increase their prices. So long term, that's why I'd be looking at various asset classes. What is Trump's bill doing? The layoffs and all that, that's all short-term temporary that will play itself out in the market in a year or two, and I can't predict. Uber Noob, $5. Cape looked at Africa companies to diversify. For some reason, they're ran by European executives and a bunch of ESG craps going on. See, and that's the problem, right? I don't know what it is with Europeans and Western companies and white people in general. They just got a virtue signal all the time. You know what's going to help African people the most? Having a stable employer offering stable jobs. And if you're chasing this ESG, DEI horseshit that doesn't result in stable profits, stable cash flows, stable revenues, you put at risk their jobs. So just run the company in the best interest of the company. I mean, don't pollute the environment. Don't do illegal things. But just run a profitable company so you can pay your employees. Surprise, you're helping out Africans. Raymond's thoughts and minds, $5. I've come to the conclusion no job matters. Just get one that pays to get by. Yep. And I think you're doing the right thing, Ray. Like you own 2 properties, you're renting one out. See, renting is a way to make money, renting one out. You fix your own place. You're a carpenter. It and you're not getting kids. You don't get married yet. You just take care of yourself. There's no reason to go to corporate America. And how much further would you be ahead, Ray, if you didn't get your degree in art? Right? Right? Probably have 2 or 3 more houses now. Toasty pasty, $5. Some have some more coffee in bed on me. Great perk. Yeah, it is nice. Base, $2. No, we need to push hard and make it no more doom. We need to push hard. Oh, to make it in the white collar world? Yeah, go have fun with it. I know you're joking, Based, but go have fun with it. Ace Montana, tied for the most American name in America. $5. You think if we adopt Canada's MAID program, welfare lefties will wipe themselves out? What's the MAID program? I got to look up MAID program. Medical assisted in dying. Oh, okay. Allows elbow assisted ending of one's life. Think adoptable welfare lefties will wipe themselves out. No. The I'm for a thing like the MAID program where you have the right to end it if you are in pain, suffering, and terminally ill. That's what the Smith and Wesson retirement plan is, but we're not going to wait around for a government program to do it. The lefties are not going to wipe themselves out because they're generally they're afraid. Look, if they're afraid of labor, they're definitely afraid of death. So they live in this miserable world of mere existence where they get enough food from various welfare programs to keep themselves alive, but they're depressed and sad because they have no purpose and meaning or work or place to go or belonging in life. So this is what you just use drugs and alcohol and consuming another drug, which would be leftist politics. I mean, you could criticize the people on the right of the same thing where they just consume Fox News and Newsmax and so it's just dulling and postponing the pain of their existence, but they do not have the balls to say, I'm miserable. This existence is more miserable than a state of non-sentience and non-existence. They're just too afraid to do it. So sadly, they're trapped in this world where it's just you're a misery until you die because you're too afraid of everything. If you're too afraid to work an 8-hour day, all right, you're too afraid to pull the trigger. See what I'm saying? So it sucks. Sucks to be you guys, I guess. I'd recommend working and making your life count, but I don't know, patriarchy, the white man, corporate America, whatever. Uber noob, $5. Serious point though. I don't see what we'd have to export under your proposal to pay for the imported machinery and manufacture good. Not high. No, you're right. And that's like I said before, my analysis is incomplete. We would have probably a perpetually inflating dollar or depreciating dollar against foreign currencies. That is true. The things probably would get more expensive. We'd probably look at food exports. We'd look at maybe oil or coal. I mean, if we have Democrats in charge, they won't allow that. What would happen on a secondary, tertiary economic effect is the whole idea would be American companies outsourcing the physical production and the management, the white collar management of all their products, but they would basically take away most Americans' income. And then the biggest market that the foreign companies that then re-export their goods and services back to the United States, we just wouldn't have the money. So in a medium to long term, I don't know, unless there was some domestic boom and growth within India, China, the two largest population economies anyway, unless there was like some serious demand on their part, they transition from second to first world. I don't think there'd be enough growth to offset the absolute. You're right. It would absolutely crater. Right? Ernst & Young outsources everything to India. Fires everyone in the United States. Everyone in the United States can't afford the $300 an hour you bill out, whether it's in India or not. Well, we're just going to go with Chad Elkin CPA. Or we're going to go, I'm going to do my own taxes. Or I don't have to do taxes because it's so low of an income. You know, I get all my money back from the government. You know, yeah, probably wouldn't be able to buy a lot of cars. There'd be a lot of it would definitely be a fix and repair off-grid kind of thing. But I think it would be what that would be, even though we would be materially poorer, I think we would overall have a much better, happier standard of living as long as the Womans can get their $100,000 handbags and freeze the eggs. That's the secret, ladies. You got to go freeze your eggs and then get the handbag. And then the third, now, okay. I got to be honest, lady. I wasn't being fully truthful with you. You'll be content and somewhat happy if you freeze your eggs and you get a $100,000 handbag. But to be mirthful, to be exuberantly happy, you need to marry yourself. And once you have your own wedding ceremony, then it's just like a constant life of endorphins flooding your system. You just be so happy. You'll be happier than Tigger. Okay? You'll be bouncing up and down. Raymond, thoughts and minds. Please subscribe to his channel. $5. Inflation equals working nonstop for an eighth quality of life you could get 20 years ago. Plus, no women, no chance of win just that. Right. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Generally speaking, everyone on average, you're taxed at a 38% tax rate. If I just do my own labor, like, right, let's say I fix my car, all that labor is paid to me. I don't have to go work up the labor and then work up some more to pay the taxes. So I have the money to pay someone else who also, by the way, has to make enough money to pay his taxes to fix my car. If I just do it, I don't have to pay no taxes. And at the end of the day, when you factor driving back and forth, incompetent Americans, Wyoming people having sex with relatives who are now in charge of the trades industry, you're just better off doing it yourself. It's going to take you less time. And that's ultimately, at the end of the day, what's going to happen. Fine, you may not have a Ferrari. You may have a well-maintained hen house, trailer park home on a piece of property, but you will have more time. Which is why at the end of the day, I'm being deadly serious. If everyone would just get in fucking shape and start fucking again, we're all going to be a lot happier because sex is free. I know, ladies. I know. Cappy, there's a bit of a bottleneck. Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm just saying, let's go to a movie. 1 in 6 chance it's going to be even good. Not great, just good. Let's go out to dinner. 1 in 6 chance it's going to be worth the money and the service is going to be competent. Blowjob on the kitchen island while the kids are over. 100% guarantee we're going to have some fun. Although I admit it's going to be men only. I know you girls aren't all excited about that. I'm just saying there's ways to entertain yourself at home. I don't know. You can go play with your kids. Jarts. Remember jarts? Jarts are fun. A little element of danger. Yeah. And then you got to go into debt to buy all. You're right, Ray. Look, you can have the little Ryan Steva, the homestead consultant. Go look it up. Little house on the prairie, but imagine 2025 technology. You tell me which one you want. Real, $5. The hedge against this, developing real skills. I'm in the flood zone in Texas. I myself built backup power system in Starlink has carried me through. Nice. Yeah, if you have, you're the dentist, right? Back in the olden days, if you ever watched Ponderosa or Gunsmoke, there was Doc and there was Miss Kitty and she ran the bar and there was Marshall Dillon, right? You all had your role in the village. You're the dentist. You're Andy Griffith's show, right? Gomer was the mechanic. Juanita worked at the diner. Floyd was a barber. You could have it all over. You don't have to go to school. Cyberbully, 10 generous dollars. There's a new trend called Euromaxing. Euromaxing. You go to Italy and chill, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee while working a 15-hour-a-week job due to the low cost of living. Thin women, too, what I'm doing in Japan. Okay. I didn't know Italy was that low cost of living. Japan. Japan, I'm curious about Japan. Rickshaw, $2. 27 in grad school, live with mom. Am I a loser? What's your grad school for? Right? What? Okay, I got a couple questions. What were you doing before you were 20? 18 to 27, what were you doing? What are you in grad school for and what's your undergrad? If you're in grad school for education, go fuck yourself. If you're in the liberal arts or the social sciences, just say you don't want to work and it's okay to be a loser. You're not the only one. What if you went into the military and you got out after your 4-year stint and then you went to trade school and maybe you dated a gal and it didn't work and then so you had to move back in with mom and you're saving up money and now you're getting your advanced degree in accounting? Sure, yeah, no, you're not a loser. Usually if you got to ask, you're a loser. But let me know. Raymond, thoughts and minds, $5. I've done the math, video soon. Going to college cost me $1 million in investment returns, real estate, etc. That factors into this. The book of numbers, because when you factor in what you could have been doing instead of going to school, like actually working and all that, it wouldn't surprise me. An opportunity cost, yes. Investment returns, absolutely. It parallels my observation. Like you're a young man, let's say you're 19, right? And you make $15 an hour. And you're faced with the choice. Becky says she's going to show up at the date, right? Or I got to go an hour. Let me give you a different scenario. I can go to the bar and hit on girls for an hour, or I can work an extra hour at work and make $15. And you would do the analysis and say, well, $15, that's not that great of an opportunity cost. I might as well go to the bar for an hour. No, it's not what you make. It's what you could have done with the money. And at minimum, any person, male or female, could take their money, throw it in the S&P 500. And if you're between the ages of 18 and 22, because that's the age I did the analysis, your opportunity cost, adjusted for inflation, is $420 an hour, ever so roughly. Because you could have thrown that money in the S&P 500, and by the time you were 70, which is going to be future retirement age, you'd have $420. Men, I cannot, especially for men, but I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to treat your time like it's $400 an hour. That's how you should guard it. Because at minimum, you could go work another shift, take that money, throw in the S&P 500, and there you go. Ladies, is the same thing for you. But yes, absolutely. The amount of time you wasted in college, if you had just worked and put that money in the S&P 500, you could have retired. Rick Shaw, $2. My graduate degree is master's in dietetics. That doesn't sound like a real thing. Dietetics prepares individuals' careers focused on applying nutrition principles to promote health and manage disease. Common starting point, master's is required to become a registered dietitian nutritionist. So far, it sounds like a bullshit degree, like you're just learning how to eat good. I'm going to look at what the pay is. Median full-time salary, $70,000. Yeah, but buddy, if you don't want to do math, you don't want to work, just say so. No, that's not a thing. Becoming a nurse is a thing. An actual nurse. Right? Go become a nurse. Master's in dietetics. So what? 10 years time making 70,000. You could do that mowing yards right now. Just admit you didn't want to do math and you don't like biology or chemistry too much, right? And you're going to, hey, eat your vegetables, right? A nutrition specialist, right? Or kinesiologist. Is that the field we're in? Too lazy to become a doctor, which I was too lazy to become a doctor, but too lazy to become a nurse. Buddy, just go work. Or become an accountant. Uber noob, $5. Cappy, my management is getting more schizo, mostly because we're understaffed. How do I tune them out? I'm probably done working in a few months. Well, go read the chapter on careers and how not to become a millennial. But very shortly, since you paid $5, you just got to tune it out, man. And the best way to do it, the very short version, it doesn't matter what you do at work or what happens to work. Unless they're punching you in the face or screaming at you, right? That's not acceptable. It doesn't matter if you're sitting at a meeting where they're just wasting your time. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in a meeting where it's some white liberal Karen screaming at you for being a white male and doing DEI training. It doesn't matter. And am I senior analyst? I'm filing and scanning in documents, right? And I learned not to care anymore. You know why, Uber noob? Because it doesn't matter what you do in those 8 hours. Those 8 hours are gone. The question is, how much money did you get paid for those 8 hours? And I think what people also got to understand that it doesn't matter what you do is you got to realize that you're like, but my skills are atrophying. There's no employer that uses your skills. Not a single one. Your skills are going to atrophy no matter where you go. There is not a job out there that uses your skills. So it doesn't matter if you're sitting there filing papers. Put on your resume, this is what I did, and here's my job, and here's what I should have been doing. Because the next place, they're not going to have their shit together. Again, Uber, have you worked at a place that had their shit together? There's not one bank in America I worked for that ever got above 4 hours a day of work for me. Usually it was less. I could do all my shit in 4 hours. Why? Because you were managed by old people who were dumb, slow, and lazy. That's not my opinion. It's not because I hate you. I hate you, scumbuckets. And you were a fact. Slow, dumb, and lazy. You were not smart enough to manage a bank where you had a full-time job. In your inferior, I do mean that. Your dumber, slower, lazier, inferior minds, it would have taken you 8 hours a day to do it. But I'm not a fat, low IQ boomer. I'm a superior person in almost every way. I could do your job with half the effort. That's all managers, uber noob. They're inferior. They're never going to. So don't worry about losing out. Oh, my skills aren't as sharp. They don't give a shit how sharp your sword is. They don't. They want you to obey. That's it. So I wouldn't worry about the efficacy or how sane they are. Like if it's starting to get genuinely schizo where they're threatening people and your job, like they're so poorly managed, the money's going to go away because they're going to whatever lose the contract or the division's going to get shut down. Yeah, you're going to have to go and get another job. You should always be, but tuning them out, just I mean, it's almost if I were to go back now, I'd almost be entertained. I'd be fascinated. I'm like, are we doing that? Okay. Yeah, let's approve his loan. What would you like the numbers to be? Okay. I know he's got a credit score of 430 and his global debt service coverage ratio isn't even 1. But you're right. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. What do you want me to write? Okay, I'll write it. And I just wait for the repossession, meetings coming in like, oh, they defaulted. Oh, they're 90 days late? Oh, they're a year late, but we're still going to, I think they just need more money, right? Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah. Let's go. Let's run this nonprofit. Yeah, don't get in there, get your money, and then be entertained with the idiocy. You know what, Uber Noob? Write it down. Make a story, write a book. Change names and locations, but yeah. Rick Shaw, $5, out of commission from car accident, severe concussion between 19 and 22, graduated undergrad 4.0 at 25. Between that, graduated undergrad. Good for you, Rick. Good for you. It shows that you got to put, not only does it show you can do it and put tremendous work into it. However, no matter what your situation, like people, well, I got dyslexia or I have a mental. Okay, it sucks to be you. I guess you get to play life with that handicap. What do you want me to do it? I can't wish away your autism. I can't wish away the fact that you're crippled in your left hand. You gotta play the game anyway. Taekwondo, 2 pounds. You can't win at Corp. Goalposts always. Oh yeah, no, there's no winning. I think the Zoomers, Gen Z is getting very street smart. And yeah, man, I would go look at Ryan Steva, the Homestead consultant. I would not be going to college. I wouldn't be working in corporate America. And from a macro, international economic standpoint, I don't know if outsourcing white collar jobs would be the worst thing ever. Yeah, go ahead. India would welcome the jobs. It would help them. It would take this nightmare that's not been accepted. Oh, you're going to take, again, my fat, debt-ridden, STD-infested, cheating wife. You're going to take her off my hands? There, go. You won't be married anymore. Oh, no. What will we do without commutes and Karens and microscopic needle dig corpo bosses? What will we do without private equity owners? Oh, no. Dude, I'm not joking. Since we're in the world of it ain't going to happen. Well, it might come no matter what. If a younger generation of women, I don't mean young women because I'm old, but if a generation of up-and-coming young ladies just said, no, I want to make my man happy. And yeah, we are doing blowjobs in the kitchen when the kids are out playing. And yeah, I will, maintain the house, homeschool the kids. Dude, do you know what a renaissance there would be? Do you know how much, forget the politics and all. Do you know how much happier everyone would be? Like we're all just living at, like imagine, what was the show I mentioned before? Not Little House on the Prairie. I didn't like Little House. It's all dramatic bullshit. The Andy Griffith Show. Like, go watch the Andy Griffith Show. Cappy, it's all white people. Go watch it anyway. It's not like you couldn't have that. It's just this small town and everyone's working and they're just cops and they're doing their thing. You could have that. Well, no. Who's doing the accounting? The Filipinos are. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to go paint the house. But our current account deficit sounds like a them problem. I don't need that much money. All right, there you guys go. Zero World Problems. Look into that. That's a book. And if you're interested in accounting, the world's greatest accounting career, link below, also available on teachable.com. We'll see you guys later.